I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
The podcast that finishes your workday in a very Red Raider way. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Welcome back to Tech Talk on Double T 97.3 and DoubleT973.com. You can also take us anywhere with the mobile apps, brought to you by Happy State Bank, live from Shreveport. It is the road to Shreveport, all leading up to a showdown with the California Golden Bears in the Independence Bowl. Tomorrow night, Optimum Game Day Live will start at 9 a.m. It will carry you all the way through the Double T 97.3 Coors Light post-game show right here on Double T 97.3. Clint Scott, Jamie Lint, Brennan Riker back at home base, taking care of us and making sure we are on the airwaves. Actually, I think it's Ben. I apologize. Ben Poorman is back at home base, taking care of us. That's what happens whenever you can't
Yes.
you can't see him. I'm just so used to looking forward and seeing someone through the glass, a floating head, and I can identify it, when I see them.
Maybe it's both of them.
Maybe. Tag team? Back
Maybe
again?
So.
No, just me rolling solo. Little bottom line takeover. I love it.
Okay, there's the answer right there.
That's
Yeah,
our
bottom line takeover.
Yes, sir.
Jamie, if anyone was listening from 9 to 12 when we were together the first time, I hit you up with a little bowl game pop quiz for Tech Talk, and you nailed it, by the way. You got 7 out of 10 right. Really 7 out of 11, but the extra credit didn't really count. So
Okay, good.
It was just an option for you to bump up, your percentage there. But you've seen your fair share of Texas Tech bowl games. How many have you been to in person? One.
This will be my 15th.
15th.
Mm-hmm.
You look just at their bowl game history. What do you think, like if you had to go like a top 5 and you went top 5, it's called bowl game performances from Tech Talk, or from Texas Tech, not from Tech Talk, from Texas
Tech
Tech.
Talk's great at every bowl game. Every one they've been at, they killed it.
Except for this one.
For this one. This has been the worst one.
For Texas Tech, what do you think their top 5 bowl games have been?
Okay, so obviously recency biased here. I started going to Texas Tech in 1995.
Mhm.
Okay, and I'll be honest with you, being a Central New Yorker, I really didn't know much about Texas Tech before I moved to the state of Texas, and then ultimately ended up at Texas Tech. So
Mhm.
I don't. I'm going to go from 95. I'm sure plenty of you other listeners have some great memories of bowls before that, and so we'd love for you to chime in and help
Yeah,
me out here on the
absolutely.
Yates Flooring Center chat line. But I'll just go back to 95 until now, and 5 of the ones that I think are the best. And so I'm going to start with 2002 and the Tangerine Bowl. Okay, you put it on Clemson, 55-15. It just felt like, that was, you had lost a bunch of bowl games in a row before that, and it felt like, Coach Leach coming in, and finally it was like people were really starting to realize, hey, that team is really fun to watch, and really, it's really an entertaining team. And Texas Tech is when you're watching college football and you see them on, you're like, hey, I'll watch them because they do it differently than everybody else because they're throwing it all over the yard, and it's a blast to watch. And so I felt like that was like our kind of national arrival in that game. And then for me to see Coach Kingsbury leading the band afterwards and all that was a really cool moment. So that's number 5 on my list. Okay. Number 4 on my list, I'm going to go to 2010 in the Alamo Bowl. It was just such a crazy time. That's where, Coach Leach gets fired and that week, and it's just a complete mess. As a Red Raider fan, it was like kicking the gut after kicking the gut. You find out that mom and dad are getting divorced, basically, is what it is. You love the university, you love Coach Leach, you want them to stay together and be married, and have, happy times, and then all of a sudden right there you find out you're going to be having separate Christmases. And so it was a bit of a beatdown as a Red Raider fan, and just so disappointing, and you just needed something good to happen. And uh, Sticks and Potts both played in the game, and you found a way, and you beat Michigan State 41-31. So it was like, I'm not saying it was a great time, but it was just like, finally something good.
That was the two Christmases cover up, right? Because like, as you're probably emotional being told that, and your parents are like, hey, you get two Christmases.
Yeah, well, we had
They're
two quarterbacks.
Hey, you get two quarterbacks and a bowl win.
Yeah, one of them started and was really good and got hurt, if I remember correctly. The other one came in and like led us to the victory. And the first one, whoever started, I can't remember which was which. And the one that started was named the offensive end MVP. Didn't finish the game. I think that's how I remember it.
Well, it's all that they say it's how you start races. It's not how you finish them, right?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
I've also been known to get sayings wrong.
Okay. Number 3, I'm going to go to the 2021 Liberty Bowl. It's funny. We've talked so much about Coach Leach, and that was you putting it on Coach Leach. That was a lot of fun. 34-7 in the Liberty Bowl against Mississippi State. It was, again, the most fun that I've had in a bowl game in quite a long time. It was just, I don't know, dominated. We clearly wanted to be there way more than Mississippi State. They had a bunch of players injured. I don't care. We just pounded an SEC school, and that's always fun for me.
And speaking of, I'm one just odd years, right? Because I mean, Wells is fired. You have the Sonny Cumbie, experience. You have Donovan Smith with an incredible game against Iowa State, and you do reach that bowl game. That's also, to me, the big time arrival of Tyree Wilson, right? Because he just was fantastic in that Liberty Bowl game. And the off-season question that year was, can he continue this and be a really good player for you? And it was way better than just a really good player for you. And of course, we all know the success that he reached. I mean, a top 10 draft pick and all that. But that was like the arrival game to me for one of the best players that's ever laced up the cleats for the Red Raiders.
All right, number 2 on my list of going to be against the opponent that you're facing tomorrow in Cal. It's a 2004 Holiday Bowl, 45-31. Some may say that was really the arrival of like when the world, in the college football world, really paid attention to Texas Tech. But it was a Cal team that was mad that they didn't get into the BCS. They really disrespected the Red Raiders and by just not really caring and making comments. I believe Aaron Rodgers had said something to the effect of, we thought we were going to play for a national championship, and instead we got an average team or something like that. And so we showed them what an average team was all about and put it on them 45-31. That was a blast. So that's number 2 on my list. And number 1 on my list is just the improbable 2006 Insight Bowl. I mean, you're getting crushed in that game. It's the greatest bowl game comeback in college football history. 44-41 in overtime. You score to win that one, and I mean that was just on a touchdown. But you kick a field goal, 50+ yards to get it tied and send it to overtime. Just like the most amazing. You want to talk about a team that was dead and buried, and somehow rose from the grave and came back and got a win. Harrell and Filani and Robert Johnson and Keith Toogood and just so many heroes in that game. Shannon Woods. I mean, it was awesome. It was the most miserable first half of a college bowl game that I've ever seen as a Red Raider fan, and the most awesome second half that you can ever imagine. So, and just off of my list was actually last year's performance at the Texas Bowl. That would have been number 6 on my list, because that was a blast to put it on a good Ole Miss team in the out of the SEC in the Texas Bowl, and you played what I felt like was your best game of the season. And that atmosphere was awesome, packed with Red Raider fans, packed with Ole Miss fans. All of them probably had too much to drink, and which made
certainly that one lady that came and talked to us at the tent. She had quite a bit.
Yes.
Where are the players?
Old Miss Mom. Goodness gracious. Yeah. So that was an awesome atmosphere. So that would have been 6th on my list.
I was curious where that one. I was going to ask you if that's like an honorable mention, or if if that one even was in consideration. But if it's at 6. I mean, that's right where it was, and that was a game that you're looking back, hoping for a similar output tomorrow night here at the Independence Bowl. It is Tech Talk on Double T 97.3. Back with more next.
It's every Red Raiders' favorite podcast. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Welcome back to Tech Talk here on Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com. Clint Scott, Jamie Lint, Ben Torman back in the LBK, taking care of us, making sure we're staying on the airways. If you are headed out to Shreveport or already here, we've talked to quite a few people, but if you're out here, especially in the, specifically in the Courtyard Marriott area of Shreveport, come say hi.
Come say hi. Even if you're not here, just come say hi anyway.
Yeah, we have.
Just hop in the car and come say hi.
Yeah, just cruise on over. Actually, if you're in Lubbock listening right now, warm up the car.
Hop on a plane.
Yeah.
So, do you like the fact, Clint, that we are the last of 7 bowl games tomorrow?
I'll be honest. I wish, since you're the kickoff day, I wish you were the actual one that kicked off the whole thing. I wish you were the very first one. I don't know if people agree with that. I'm also a well-known 11 a.m. kick guy. I just am.
We don't want to play at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Oh, even better, 10 o'clock?
No way.
I would play 9 a.m. games if I could.
No way.
Well, I wouldn't play in them. I would watch and enjoy my team to do that, but that's not happening. So I don't hate that you're the ender.
Can you tell me any other matchups tomorrow without looking at the screen? Anybody else who's playing?
Appalachian State is playing tomorrow. I believe Georgia Southern is a competitor in a bowl game tomorrow.
Yeah.
I want to say Texas State is on the field tomorrow at some point. Texas State and Rice, are they playing? They are opponents. That's the first opponents I've lined up together.
They are. Okay, that's the first one you're paying attention.
California is playing tomorrow.
They are. Yeah. Do you have some favorite bowl names? Is that something you want to talk about today?
I do want to talk about that.
Okay.
We can do it now if you would like to.
I don't know. I just think there's some funny ones. The avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl.
How do they just say that, right? Like if they're welcoming the game, how do they not say avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl?
Like, I don't know. I'm questioning what the Mexico Cure is.
I think it's the guacamole, right? Yeah, the
avocados are the Mexico Cure. I'm confused on that one.
Yeah. I like the Cricket Celebration Bowl because I know it's about, like the phone company, but it sounds like we're like, hey, have you guys seen crickets? They're fantastic creatures. They feed you lizards. Like,
okay,
have you heard them sing?
I had pictured a little table after it was over with that they were all celebrating with.
It's your conscience.
Yeah,
you're celebrating.
I'm loving there's a Toastery Bowl. And there is a Pop-Tart Bowl.
Famous Toastery Bowl. Are they fighting? They man the Pop-Tart?
Are they dueling bowls?
I think you should line up where the Pop-Tarts Bowl goes right before the Toastery Bowl, right? Because Pop-Tarts are better out of the toaster.
And have you heard that the mascot said it's edible? Pop-Tart Bowl is edible.
I still don't. I've heard that a bunch, and actually, this is where credit to the Yates Flooring Center chat line where you can hit us up as well. I didn't know this until it was being joked about on the chat line, and then I was like, "Well, yeah, it sure is." I still don't understand how it's going to work though. Like, is it a person in a giant pastry suit, or is it just like, "Hey, we're pushing out a Pop-Tart on a cart," and they're like, "Yeah, this is the mascot." Woo!
That's a great question.
Yeah,
I really do not know.
I'm in on the pop. I think that was an up. It's a different type of snack. I think that was a snack upgrade from the Cheez-It.
Okay.
Like I would take a Pop-Tart over a Cheez-It in any situation 10 out of 10 times.
All day, every day.
Yeah. And they didn't, because even whenever they did the Cheez-It bath, like they didn't even do some of the better Cheez-It flavors. They just did the plain one, which to me is the worst Cheez-It.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? I'm taking a stand. I didn't know I was. I'm glad it's dead.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the Pop-Tarts Bowl, especially if North Carolina wins it.
And I know I'm not the most well-rounded person. But
No,
some of these,
North Carolina's the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Yes.
North Carolina State, excuse me.
yeah, some of these businesses or whatever, I mean, I've never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
What is Isleta, New Mexico Bowl? I think.
There is let a score happen.
Yes.
I don't know.
And why is there a bowl host with the name that's hosted by Gronk?
Which itself.
Starco Brands LA Bowl hosted by Gronk.
I don't know. You know, that's you know what I really like. Well, one, I do like the full name of the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. That's a great one. But I really like the bowl game that we joked about earlier when I was making my awesome Pinstripe Bowl joke to you about how, you know, there's finally a relevant game that'll be played in that stadium this year. SMU and Boston College, even though I think it's lame that Boston College is staying in Boston, it's not that it's the Fenway Bowl. Like, it's just wasabi. The Wasabi Fenway Bowl.
What is wasabi?
Wasabi is usually it is a spicy green ingredient that like goes with sushi. That's what you have the little pile of.
So the bowl game is sponsored by a spicy green ingredient.
Yeah, I don't know if it's I'll be honest, I don't know if it kind of looks like a root whenever it's not shaved down, but I don't know if that's accurate. It just looks like it's a root of some kind. I just know it's green and spicy, and if I ever have sushi, not in Dumas, but if I ever have sushi of any kind, I do enjoy it, and it is no joke. It is no joke. It is not messing around.
No.
But you do not play with the wasabi.
And why is it that only the Yankees and Red Sox have bowl games? You know the Yankees got one, and the Red Sox were like, well, if they're going to have one, we have to have one.
Well, like, I think.
I mean, how about?
I think, like, could you? What are some other stadiums that you would want to do it in? Because, like, if you go to Dallas, you'd rather play in Jerry World, right?
All I'm saying is that if you're going to do it, like, football lives in the South, college football specifically. Okay, college football is not big in New York or Boston. All right, Boston. Okay, so it feels like if there were baseball teams that were going to do it, pick the Rangers or the Astros. Okay, somebody who actually, like, college football lives in that area.
I guess. See, I think I'm the opposite, because I look at that and I go, if you're going to that area and if you're a football player, wouldn't you rather play in the NFL stadium if it was now? There's games in DFW that are not in Jerry World, clearly. Or just in the Metroplex over there. But I think if you're given the option, you'd rather go to just like going to the Texan Stadium last year, right, for the Texas Bowl.
Yeah.
You'd probably rather go there if you were a player.
Probably.
Or like,
yeah. If you could go watch your Jayhawks play in any bowl game, where would you watch them go play in? Besides a national championship game or college football playoff?
The bowl game in New Orleans.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I would go there. We're close. Hey, we got Raider Red. I
Reds
get up and turn the camera.
Yeah.
Hey, you can put your face right in that camera right there.
Yeah.
There it is. The legend.
What's up, Red?
Red? That's good. Make sure the hat's staying on.
Yeah, he's good.
We're kind of filling up here now in the lobby.
Yes,
the traffic is coming in.
The Spirit Squad and the Saddle Tramps are here.
What's your best cheer?
Rah, rah, ree. Kick him in the knee.
That was the most cheer I have ever seen. Enthusiasm. Could you give me a tea? Tea. You've got your tea. Please take your tea. I guess. How about an E? Like, how long is this going to take me? I have to spell out the entire. No, okay, I'm done. It's Texas Tech. I'm spelling Texas Tech.
All I know is if the Red Raiders ever got to play in the Pinstripe Bowl, I would feel like I've died and gone to heaven.
Oh yeah. Would you make sure like the entire station would go to that one? Like, you guys got to experience. It's great. Get yourself a slice while you're there.
The podcast that finishes your workday in a very Red Raider way. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Welcome back to Tech Talk. You've got us on Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com. Clint Scott, Jenny Lint, Ben Poorman back at home base taking care of us. Ben, if you would please hit the breaking news sounder. We only hit that when something serious has hit, whether it's serious good, serious bad. This is serious great, Jamie. This has been a crystal ball that had been given to this guy for Texas Tech for about a day. But you look to the transfer portal, and you had a huge addition confirmed about 15 minutes ago. Josh Kelly, a Washington State transfer wide receiver, officially transferring to Texas Tech. This is you got the Caleb Douglas one from Florida a couple of days ago, which was great. Don't get me wrong. That seemed like an expectation. He had a season-ending injury essentially, so he didn't get to really show off in his sophomore campaign. But that is a guy you're bringing on, hoping that he turns into someone great and can produce for you and will have production. Josh Kelly from Washington State already has the production nailed down. This is a guy, 63 receptions this year, 923 yards, 8 touchdowns for the Cougars in 2023. 1 year, I believe, of eligibility remaining, depending on where you look. I think Rivals had him as the 35 overall transfer prospect, just depending on where you look. But you were wanting to upgrade that position, and this is a big one.
Huge. I mean, massive. We felt like the Red Raiders absolutely needed playmakers in this offseason for next year. And the only disappointing part is he's not eligible for tomorrow. Because, like you mentioned, you've added Douglas, you've added him, and then we all know about Micah Hudson coming in.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you've added Jalen Conyers, too, tight end spot.
Man, who is a beast.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Can we run the Donovan Smith package with him?
We are going to do that. And
times.
you saw he's completed a bunch of passes in the Wildcat formation. So, yeah, anyways, you have really added some good pieces to your offense heading towards next year. That's awesome. Awesome news for Coach Kitley and that team as a whole.
Yeah, and again, this is what...
And you got that Taj Brooks guy coming back.
Oh, he's pretty good.
I don't know if you heard about him. He's coming back.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
At the end of the regular season, I didn't assume. I thought he wouldn't be back, so thrilled that he is.
I'm not just trying to sit here and hammer on the receiver room that you put out this year, but now, I mean, we talked about a little bit at the start of the show, but now you start saying the names in the room of Micah Hudson, of next year's Coy Aiken, which hopefully is really good, and then Josh Kelly, and then another year of Dre McCray, and then another year of Jordan Brown, and then adding in, some of these names.
Sure.
It seems like you have, for that room, you have accomplished what you set out to do. Now, you're still looking at pieces and still waiting on some yeses in like the offensive line department. You've already got a couple of yeses in the offensive line department, but man, it seems like your kind of grocery list, your wish list, if you will, from the offense as far as improving, like this was huge. So that is awesome news for Texas Tech football.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very excited about that news. I mean, because you want to have 2, 3, 4 different guys that can be go-to guys on any given day, and it just felt like we didn't have enough of those guys at the wide receiver position this year.
Yeah, because it wasn't just saying you need a playmakers, and now you've got hopefully a few guys who can fill that role, immediately. I also think this is great news for Micah Hudson. And
I agree.
I think this is not saying, hey, you shouldn't have the expectations for Hudson coming in. Like, yeah, he's your highest overall recruit. Yeah, he's a 5-star. Yeah, he's one of the best kids in Texas coming to your university. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy into any of that. But you also, like, to me, it's like, hey, welcome to the university. Be the next Michael Crabtree, or we're going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
And this is going to help ease. I also think that, like with Taj Brooks, that was another thing too. Like it's as much as we're ready already to anoint him before he's played a game for you at Texas Tech. We also have to understand that he's still going to be a Division I freshman next year. Now, I think he's going to be a
There's going to be a
playmaker.
learning curve.
Yeah, and
Sure.
he's going to be on the field immediately. But to have some help where it's not just, and they weren't going to do this, but where it's not just leaning on him, like he on his own is going to change everything. You're surrounding him with help, and I think in turn will also make him better.
Yeah, and it won't have the feeling of I have to do so much.
Yeah, at times, especially before Brooks said he was coming back, I felt like we were having like the Hudson or bust.
Yeah.
Like if he's not special year one, you're going to be in the same boat
who's having
as you were
best,
this year.
You know who's having the best offseason? Two guys, Zach Kitley and Baron Morton.
Oh my gosh, yeah, man,
Yeah.
I do like the. Can he lace him up? Can any of those guys lace him up tomorrow night?
Yes. Too bad if that Yahoo from K-State can be playing basketball from Memphis. Yeah.
I like that you called him a Yahoo. Yeah,
Good?
yeah.
Like that?
Naquan Tomlin. But he's a Memphis Tiger now, Jamie.
Okay.
He's not from Kansas State. He's a Memphis Tiger. He's Anthony.
And Fernie?
I can think of that now. Anthony Hardaway Jr.
Mhm.
Pupil.
That's right. He's a blind tiger now.
It's got great support from around here. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. So if you're in the area, if you're looking for a place,
Somebody
that is what I have been told at
tell
least
us
so far.
why the name is such. Bullfighter told us why the doors have to be so heavy and loud. And so we appreciated that. It's a safety deal.
Safety deals. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
I mean,
you were guessing.
I was
right?
close.
But Bullfighter actually
close.
dropped the knowledge.
He dropped the knowledge. I dropped the guesstimate.
Yeah.
This from Sooner in Lubbock. Have y'all heard of any good restaurants in Shreveport? Heading that way tomorrow morning. I would like to have some good food before the game. I would say Blind Tiger.
Sounds like everybody else says. And please do me a favor and ask why it's called the Blind Tiger.
Yes.
If you could do that, I appreciate it.
Here's some help. Isleta is a huge casino in Albuquerque.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
People educating me left and right.
Yes. Not right. I'm on your right.
Yeah, I didn't
I'm
say
not
the
doing
people on the right
Oh.
were educating me.
Oh, okay. Wow, trashing the Cheez-It. Who do you think you are? Cheez-Its are the superior snack. Nah, Cheez-Its are overrated. I'd be okay if Cheez-Its disappeared.
I like them. But it's not one of my favorites.
They're not even close to the best cracker-based snack. Barely mid-tier. That's right, Cheez-Its. I said it. It's Tech Talk on Double T 97.3.
The podcast put together with Red Raider fans in mind. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3. Presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
It is the road to Shreveport. Clint Scott, Jamie Litt, Ben Palmer.
I hope that's what you're singing later tonight. After you get out of the casino. Oh, what a night.
Oh, I'll be honest, I have blanked out the bumper.
Okay.
We'll do the, what is it? Do, 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 do. We got a woo pig over there.
Woo pig.
We got a go bear over there, but
we
I
had
don't
one
know.
earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where the bear guy was. He didn't have any kale clothes on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I think it was just to mess with us.
Yeah, maybe so.
Or he's a huge. I'll
now
be
we have
honest.
now we have an Arkansas fan here, so.
I finally saw a pack of rabid cow fans.
Were they rabid?
Well, not really. They were walking calmly, but there was 4 or 5 of them, and they were the first
Okay.
group. I had seen obviously several groups of Red Raiders up until this point. We'd seen the one single. It's like a wildlife show, like the shingle cow deaf fan wandering through the cafe looking for some sort of sandwich. I finally saw a pack of them.
Yeah, okay,
And
good.
they were,
Glad they're here.
yeah, they looked blown away by the river. They were walking over the bridge, like they had never seen water before.
Really?
Yeah, must have been thirsty.
Okay. Which is funny because the last time the Red Raider baseball team went to Cal, all we saw was water. Rain for 4 straight days. It was miserable.
We got this on the chat line from David. I like this. I coined a new term. It's called radio lag. It happens when your favorite radio guys are on at 5 o'clock instead of 2 o'clock. Sure hope I can sleep tonight.
Yeah. Just imagined Clint and I. Same way.
Like maybe count instead of counting sheep,
Yeah.
just count Jamie and I alternating.
Good luck.
See how many you can get.
Good luck. Good luck.
Tyler says, Clint, can you provide the radio schedule for tomorrow? I can. If I have this right, I know we have Thetford and Ashby 9 to 12.
Yes, we do.
We have Garrett and Taylor
12 to 3.
from 12 to 3.
Mhm.
We had Choice and Sneed
Yep.
from 3 to 5, a little repeat from today. And then Jamie and I are your
It's not
bookends.
a repeat.
It's a repeat.
It's the
A retread,
same host,
a redo.
It's a different show. This is now twice you and your boy Woodman have called it a replay or a repeat. No, it's just the same host.
Maybe a redo. Did it go well for them? I didn't really listen.
And then from 5 to 7, you and I are going to be on. And unfortunately, it's not going to be a replay. We're going to actually have to do this again.
Wow.
And we're going to have fun.
That sounded like a threat. We're going to have fun. We're going to enjoy it. You're going to have a good attitude.
You're going to like it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so Optimum Game Day Live all day from 9 a.m. all the way to, yeah, don't forget Garrett tomorrow night or Sunday morning.
Yeah.
That's a Sunday morning thing, right? We're not going to hear from him.
It'll be left leading you right into an early church service, I think.
I would guess
if
it's
you're
going to
an
be right
early service
around
guy.
midnight when he goes on.
Yeah. I think it's a 6 overtime game, so I'm going to say 4 a.m. I'm just kidding.
Have you made your prediction yet?
I have not. I was going to wait till tomorrow. I guess I technically sent mine to Jeffrey McGuire, to Jeffy Mack.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I can repeat it. I have Tech winning 33 to 24. I think you just eclipsed 30 points. I think you are going to see a heavy dose of Taj Brooks, and I think it's going to work really effectively. Cal just, whenever they have faced physical teams and good to great offenses. Now, I know you haven't always been this year a good to great offense, but some of the best parts of your offense when it was rolling, I'm not sure if you have an interested. I think this is the key here, and I think you will. If you have an interested Texas Tech offense in this game, you'll be able to run it down their throats. And so I think you'll just eclipse 30 just because I think you're going to see limited possessions just because of how much you'll commit to the ground. And then hopefully on top of it, just an effective day from Baron Morton. I mean, he could throw for a bunch of yards. I just think with some of the receivers you are missing and trying to work in, I can see you committing more to Taj than to setting up the pass.
I like your score prediction a lot more than mine. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see the Raiders win this game by 10. But I have Cal winning 33 to 30.
Which is right around what Vegas would tell you.
Okay.
With you being a 3.5 point favorite. I
have Cal winning.
It's
kind of a big difference.
I didn't expect that, really. Yeah. My brain was just not listening to you say Cal win because I just assumed you were going to say Texas Tech win. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, blue and gold Raider over here, right?
Whatever.
I
just have so many questions.
Yeah.
And I think I'm more caught up in, which is somewhat silly of me, I'm more caught up in the question marks that the Red Raiders have with their departures and just the performance that you had last time out against Texas. I know that was a long time ago, but at the same time, Cal's had issues as well.
Mm-hmm.
They've lost guys as well.
It does feel like early on a big thing that was affecting them was they couldn't figure out the quarterback spot, and they have the freshman Fernando. The name is just gone. If only I could
I think
pull up.
Just go by Fernando.
I think it should just be Shout out ABBA, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Valenzuela, Tatis,
Fernando Mendoza. There we go.
Mendoza.
And he was the youngest of the three, and I'm not sure if they just weren't giving him time because he was a freshman or if there was an injury or what. But they went through 2 other quarterbacks before they got to him, and then he played really consistently.
Mm-hmm.
And so it does feel like they have that figured out. I think Jaden not playing in the game is huge for Cal.
No doubt.
But I'm just not sure on if they've gone, oh, we lost all of these guys on the offensive line because they all entered the portal. I just, again, have not had any care, even with them being your opponent. I've just not had any care factor towards Cal.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Yeah. So, what was your score again?
33-30.
California. That would suck. It just suck. This on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Herbie K's in Shreveport is amazing.
Okay, so I just got an email from one of the ladies in the office, the one you saw dive bombing in that video.
That looked like she had been shot.
Okay.
Awesome.
And she's a Shreveport native, and she said, here's some eats to go to. Strawn's Eat Shop, pie.
Great name. Okay.
Superior Grill.
Okay.
Mexican food.
Way better than the inferior.
She says the margaritas are deadly. I don't know if I want that. Okay.
That's because their margaritas are just Everclear.
Oyster Bar and Grill. That's seafood. And guess what the last one is?
Blind Tiger.
The Blind Tiger, which is Cajun food.
Heck yeah. Man, I think that's where we're going tonight. I might be talking myself into it.
Every person you meet says go to the Blind Tiger.
It's got to be. The reviews online were good, and I'm very trusting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everyone meet me at the Blind Tiger.
Clint will be there doing the show. A show.
I'll be in the guy still in the corner, still smacking myself in the head. The reflex at this point.
Anybody sent that to us yet?
It's Tech Talk on Double T 97.3.
The podcast put together with Red Raider fans in mind. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3. Presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Tech Talk on Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com. Clint Scott, Jamie Lint, Ben Porman Beck, and the LBK taking care of us. It is the road to Shreveport, Optimum Game Day Live. We'll kick off the morning tomorrow at 9 a.m. here on Double T 97.3, and it will carry you all the way through the Double T 97.3 Coors Light post-game show. One more with us here tonight. You can hit us up on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Give us your questions for Ask Tech Talk. We'll take all of that there. If you want to give us your score predictions as well, we'll certainly take it. We did get this question on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Are you guys keeping up with Tech commits in state playoffs this week? So I'd be lying if I told you that I had, at least me, Jamie, under the microscope every single one. I do know the big one from yesterday was Albany's Adam Hill, who plays running back and defensive end for them. He won offensive MVP honors in a 28-10 win over Mart. That's the second straight Class 2A Division II championship there at State for Albany. And one of those touchdowns was incredible, like a 50-yard run. And he was just stiff-arming dudes left and right all the way. But that's the one that I've seen, but I'm sure there's more in there to the mix, but I'd be lying if I said I had every single one throughout the entirety of the Texas State playoffs.
Yeah, that's good news that you have guys that are playing deep into the postseason, getting that experience, and come from winning cultures and all that good stuff. Those are the kind of guys that you want in your program that know how to win and expect to win.
Yeah, absolutely. This on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Sooner in Lubbock said, I can see this game going into overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah. This on the Yates Flooring Center chat line looks great at the Blind Tiger, but I don't see Jamie eating anything there.
I'm not planning on going to the Blind Tiger.
But you're not like a Cajun food fan, right?
I am not.
In general?
There is no blind taste test. There is nothing involving food and blind that Jamie Lent is going to do.
Except for the blind ketchup taste test, which we will still do
again,
at some point.
He's not going to do.
Jamie will be the Blind Tiger. Blind Jamie.
Scott at all.
It's just ketchup. It's your favorite condiment.
Yeah, assuming that you're going to just feed me ketchup.
Well, I'm not going to feed you. I'll let you dip your own fry. I'm not. Here comes the airplane. Let it in the hangar. Plane needs to land. We're running out of gas.
I'm just saying, it ain't going to happen.
Okay, all right. It's going to happen. Man, you know what I need? I think, you have like beer flights or flights of wine where they'll bring you out, 5 or 6 or whatever. You can sample them all.
Okay.
I need a Cajun food flight. Like I need someone to have, here's like the etouffee, here's the gumbo, here's the jambalaya, here's like a fourth of the po' boy. I need that in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be in. Why is Tech favored to win? Cal lose a lot of players? Question mark.
I just don't think Cal's been that impressive.
Yeah, I agree. I think they have been very pedestrian.
Yeah.
And some could say the same thing about you, to be fair.
Me personally?
You, Jamie, have been very pedestrian. I'm just kidding. That sounds like such a put down on a personal level. Like, I could have probably said way worse things, but that sounds like such a slap in the face.
As a friend, you are very pedestrian. As a coworker, you've done a very pedestrian job.
Is pedestrian the same as like, as long as I pass, I get the degree? Is that the same thing?
I think it's, as my 16-year-old would say, very mid.
What do you mean your 16-year-old? You use that all the time.
Better than sus, but it's still very mid.
Not quite bussin'.
We don't do the bussin' thing. And it's definitely not giving you Riz.
You're still on Cracker Talk.
I am Cracker Talk. Yes. Riz. No Riz here.
I don't know why that one, like, it doesn't make me mad, but that
Riz?
one bothers me. I think charisma just sounds cooler than Riz, and it's what it is.
Yeah, but it takes too long. That's too much effort. The kids don't want to say a word charisma. I mean, that would be like the equivalent of having to tie their shoes. That's why everybody wears Crocs now, right? So they don't have to tie shoes. Surely not because they look good.
Why do I? Well, you'd be surprised. I have a pair of Crocs that I plan on wearing out on the town that I have a monocle on both and a bow tie. They're my fancy Crocs.
Fancy Crocs.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Horse name.
Yeah, they go well with tuxedos. Tyler says, food flight, just be rich like Waco Woodman. Also said, yes, Clint, blind taste test. That's going to happen. That's going to happen. Sooner in Lubbock said, I wonder if the Blind Tiger name has to do something with LSU.
Yeah, I thought about that with the Tiger
do you
aspect of it.
Maybe an Ed Orgeron joke, like even a blind tiger finds a national championship?
Finds some good Cajun food?
Yeah. Yeah. I could certainly see that. This on the Yates Flooring Center chat line, Bullfighter suggested that wrestling maneuver was the Groupon position. Hey, easy.
Easy.
No, you easy.
Watch yourself. I think that was his words.
Watch
yourself.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Here you go. French Market, hour south of... I'm probably not going to go an hour south of Shreveport, but hour south of Shreveport, best catfish and crawfish pies.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I like catfish.
Tyler wants to know what Aaron and Gus are up to this weekend. Pretty sus. They're off the same weekend. I think that they're actually noodling in the area. Just, we're too busy noodling to actually do the show.
You mean like where you stick your hands in a hole in the water and pull out a fish?
Yeah.
Noodling. Okay.
Uh-huh. Which is a very misleading name for that.
It is. It is.
It's like your arm is the noodle and the catfish are pasta connoisseurs.
Sure.
Like, oh, that's the biggest piece of fettuccine I've ever seen. Seems like a good spot to end on.
It feels like a great spot to end on.
We got this Clint the Riz God and Jamie Super Sus.
Super sus. I mean,
also get a have fun, guys. I'm out for some R&R. Well, you have as fun as well. If you guys are coming out, be safe. Have a good time.
This has been the Tech Talk Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.